What's going on? This is Mark's owner and trainer Fuller Fitness, and the interesting thing about this video is, especially if you saw the one before this one, is I had mentioned how I was going to do pull-ups in that last video. So if you didn't see it, I guess it don't matter. But for those who saw it and then might see this one, I said I was going to do pull-ups, but I tried to do those. I tried to do some pull-ups, and it felt like my shoulder might snap if I try to do pull-ups. The stuff that I felt in my left shoulder. So lat pull downs it is, which is fine, but that's not what my plan was. But so maybe that's a good thing, at least in terms of telling you. Just because you can't do certain things this time, don't mean there won't be another time. So to not be able to do the pull-ups as I had planned, especially the different angles that I had planned, or at least it seems like I'm not able to, and I'm not going to force it. So to do my lat pull down workout with different hand positions, just like I did with the barbell rows that I did before this video. So if anybody wants to see that, if you haven't, so I'm going to go ahead and do wide grip, and I have, it looks like I have 190, so hopefully I can do 4 reps. I believe I've done it before, so hopefully this is another time I'll be able to do it. Kind of feel this too. Alright, let's get it on. 2, 4. Okay. So again, I can feel that. Feel that it is more challenging today. For whatever reason, I'm feeling what I'm feeling in my shoulder. And now that I remember, I meant to jump on my foam roller before the workout. And as I remember right now, I didn't do that. Set number 1, 4 reps. Do set number 2, and then move my hand to a different position. That's the way that I prefer to do my lat pull down workout. Pull-ups too. That's the way that I prefer to do it. So to not rush the process in terms of doing a set and then jumping back in and doing a second one. So take a little bit of time in between. Anywhere between 2 and 3 minutes, possibly longer, depending on how heavy you're going. And then the interesting thing is, just because you were able to do it the first time doesn't mean you'll be able to do it a second or third time. So see if I can do this one more time at that angle. Interesting thing is, when I was younger, I was starting to wonder if I can even get to a certain number and be able to do a certain number of reps. So I don't remember how long it took me to get to 190, and then not only to get to 190, but be able to do a certain number of reps. So 4 is not a lot, but the fact that you do put a certain load on it to be able to do it at all. The interesting thing is I probably would have only done 170 or 180 with that load, but I was going to, again, I said it in a previous video and then probably in the one before that, I was going to sell the equipment that I have and get different equipment. And I still might do it, but I was going to sell the equipment that I have and get different equipment, different bars, different plates. So I might still do it, but I didn't do that, so I don't have some of the lighter plates I had to where I can put the lighter plates on here to where I could have done 170, 175, or 180. Let me see. Yeah, actually no, shit. I think I could have done. I think I could have done 170 or 180. Damn, I got some plates here that I forgot about. So I could have done 180 or something that's not as heavy, but as you can see, I can actually do it, so I should be good to go. So now I just did 2 sets out wide, so now I'm gonna go shoulder width, and then come inside. Hopefully I can do 4 reps each. I should be able to, because the hard part's out of the way going out wide. Did that first, got it out of the way. I was gonna do that with my pull-ups, but this is one of the days that it feels like I'm not able to do pull-ups. And I think I tried it at 2 different angles. Tried to go out wide first, then I tried to go shoulder width, and my shoulder felt like it's not having it. So again, instead of forcing it, do this, with high hopes this doesn't do any damage. Should be good to go. Then whatever bar or piece that you use for your lat pull downs or pull-ups, but lat pull downs, you know, whether your hand grip is pronated or neutral grip. Hopefully people have it. I don't know if people do it as much with lat pull down, to where they do a underhand, and people are so determined to do certain things, they'll do stuff somewhat wrong, if not very wrong, just so they can say they did it. So for those who do underhand pull-ups and underhand lat pull down, I don't see as much with lat pull down. And you do underhand, you're doing more bicep work than you think. For those who don't know or possibly not care, as long as they do the pull-ups, even with it being on underhand. Actually, there's a woman on Threads, probably Instagram too. I almost said YouTube. Instagram and Threads, to where she'll keep doing underhanded pull-ups and feeling really good about it. So I don't know if anybody hasn't told her, or I don't know why I'm yawning so much today. If anybody's told her what muscles that she's working, but you know, depending when you tell certain people certain things, almost regardless of the age, doesn't matter. So hopefully somebody tells her. So again, with these, to have a certain hand position and a certain piece, to where for me is to use a pronated grip. I think I will get a bar that allows me to do the neutral grip. I don't know if I'll do that here, because with the way I have these cables set up, it has to be. Actually, no, that's not entirely true. I think I can get one of those other bars and be able to attach it down the middle, because I can do it with this one too. Attach it down the middle, and that'll feel different and probably less challenging to do it that way, because I won't have to balance as much. So let's see if I change my mind about how I do these, and it's less likely to hit the wreck for me to do it the way that I'm doing it. So alright, that is set number 1. Do set number 2, and then move my hands inside. Original plan, well, 1, I was going to do pull-ups, and then 2, my original plan was to do 2 or 3 sets with doing 2 reps. That was my original plan. And for those of us who do that, is to lift a certain load and then move at a certain speed. And then still get a certain bit of workout in, and having to do, for me, an additional set, a second, a third, or a fourth set, due to only doing 2 reps. So that way, if you do a third or fourth set, then you're still getting six reps, 8 reps in, but having to do more sets to do it. That was my original plan. I forgot what changed it, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Don't regret it. Still doing pretty good in terms of the load that I'm lifting, especially I think it helped that I did what I did last week in terms of doing 12 reps and challenging my muscles that way, providing my muscles with less stress from the weight, and increasing what is known to many of us as mitochondria, if I said it correctly. And that's just having more endurance in your muscles compared to what your muscles might be used to if you're constantly doing low reps. So, and that seems to help when it comes to lifting heavier and not lifting super heavy and maxing out all the time. But then you do high reps of something, 10 reps, 12 reps, 15 reps, 20 reps. Nothing wrong with that. But the funny thing about that is, not that I hear it a lot, but I've heard it a few times over the years, to where you hear certain people saying that you're supposed to do 20 reps, 15 reps, 12 reps. But the people who are likely to tell you that, from what I've noticed, and again, depending on what your goal is, but the people who I've heard say that are people who are on performance enhancement drugs. So the people who are not on steroids and taking certain things are the ones not telling you stuff like that. So, I could be wrong, but it is very likely that if somebody's doing 15 or 20 reps with their workout, they are nowhere near as big or as strong, physically strong, or as big as certain people would like to be. Even if they eat a lot, like they might have a certain amount of size to them if they eat that much. With high hopes it's not fat, but yeah, depending on what level you're at and what stage you're in and what you heard, what you've read up to this point, specifically what you've seen, because I don't know if people are reading as much. Yeah, if you hear certain people saying that you're supposed to do 15 or 20 reps with your sets, those people, especially if depending on what your goal is, and again, if you're watching something like this, you're interested in strength training, getting as strong as you can, even if you are lifting or doing more reps, but still to try to lift a certain load. Especially for those of us who want to do it without using performance enhancement drugs. And I have dedicated my life toward that. So I'm going on 40 and still lifting certain loads for the first time. And I've actually posted a lot of that stuff on here, so I don't think I've done a PR and it wasn't on here. I didn't post it on here. So if I'm not mistaken, when I did a 150-pound dumbbell chest press for the first time, I think I posted that on here. And if it wasn't on here, it was on my Instagram. But I think for sure it's on my Instagram. I don't think it's on here. So I did post it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was with the 150. When I did 160, I was gonna record it. When I did 160 for the first time, I was gonna record it, but when I tried to do it a second time, so had I done it the first time, but when I tried to do a second set and record it, I heard and felt some stuff in my elbow that I don't want to hear or feel again. Even though I've heard and felt it a few times, but I don't want to hear or feel that again, especially now that I know of elbow exercises to do. But as much as certain people hate practice, those of us who hopefully understand. Because I know I had a lot of people mad at me when I was growing up, and I was actually looking forward to going to basketball practice, especially saying that I'm not good at basketball. So I look forward to going to basketball practice and getting better. Track practice. I loved going to track practice, at least until I got to high school, to where it was boring, especially when it makes sense that they did it, but we were highly upset when they separated the guys and the ladies, saying that we had to be separate and we couldn't practice together anymore. And many of us, I think most of us, were upset about it, because like, why? And I don't remember what their reasoning was, but for the most part, it's likely a good thing that they did that. I don't know if it's as different in college, and probably not as different for those who are on the Olympic level. But to keep practicing and using different hand positions and different equipment, working out at home, working out at the gym, working out outside, depending on what you're doing and what's available, working out outside. Just not trying stuff on a regular, because it's hard to get better if you're constantly doing different stuff. But I mean, depending on what your goal is, if you're just doing it just to do it because you like it but don't love it, or you just like doing different stuff, depending on what your goal is, go for it. But for me to do this twice a month, and then I was planning on doing pull-ups, but my left shoulder said hell to the gnaw to that today, so to still do this. So now do 2 reps with my hands on the 2 sets with my hands on the inside to work a different part of the back, and compared to using my neutral grip handle, I'm just going to use this, especially seeing that I don't want to have to take this weight off. Actually, it probably won't be that hard, but to take that weight off and trying to see how much weight to put on the one cable and then hook that up. So instead of doing that, just bring my hands in, which I've been doing for a while. I used to do my pull-ups like that, actually. I might still be able to do it, but I think when I tried it out there, it just felt so damn weird. Plus, I can't do pull-ups today for some reason. So try these 2 sets here. And it's all with 190, hopefully. So I've done it with the other 2 hand positions. So hopefully this 2, I think I've done it. The close grip with 190 before. In fact, a few weeks ago, but we'll see. Just because you've done it before don't mean you'll be able to do it every time. All right. So I don't know. It's interesting to be doing all this and I've done it for years, so it's not like it's new for me. But to put a certain load on, and even with the different angles, not saying that it's easy, to utilize a wide grip, shoulder width, and now inside, And to do all of that with 190 pounds, especially years back, oof, I was lucky to even do 160 for a certain number of reps, let alone more than one set. So it's interesting to where if you keep trying, but when I say keep trying, that's a lot of that can go into that, just in terms of trying different hand positions, different bars when it comes to lat pull down, even your bench, or even doing push-ups. Doing push-ups with different hand positions. If you have handle push-up bars, and just trying different sets, different reps, trying to make sure. And if you're trying to lift heavy, I think there's a motivation because it's so damn heavy for us to try to do it quickly. Don't rush it. That's how people are getting hurt. That's why people are failing. Even if they don't get hurt, to not rush it. Yes, it's heavy. Yes, it's likely heavy, and you want to get it up, be done with it. But to try not to rush it, and then all of a sudden, a certain amount of time will go by to where all of a sudden it will feel easy to where you have to figure out if you're going to do more reps or go heavier. So, yeah, man, just keep practicing, try different things. So just you could just be so much better in so many different ways instead of just this, just that, instead of just a barbell bench, which so many people seem to be in love with, just a dumbbell bench that so many of us are in love with, depending on why. And for me, it was the range of motion. And then sometimes, even though the goal is to lift as heavy as possible, again, to avoid injury and, either take a week or so off or do something else, to go lighter. And I miss it, but I'm kind of addicted to lifting heavy. So, but to go very light, depending on what is light for you, and then you'll try to go faster, so that helps too. So, it's not doing the same stuff over and over again and then hoping for different results depending on how you do it, how, when, and why you do it. So, like I said, last week I did sets of 12, and that feels different. It feels enlightening in terms of how much I can move certain loads for 12 reps, especially compared to before. So yeah, just keep practicing, using different equipment from time to time, maybe every other month or something, using different equipment, a different routine. So one week you do this, another week you do this. So instead of doing it every week, you still have the mental and physical enthusiasm and ability to get better, get stronger, or do more reps with whatever it is. Just not trying to do more sets than necessary. That's part of the problem with a lot of people trying to do so many sets. Though the people who look better seem to be the ones who do more sets, but those are the people who also have a lot of issues in terms of issues with their shoulder, issue with their back, issue with their knees. My chiropractor I had years ago when I was in Rochester, she told me a lot of her clients are from CrossFit people with all the repetitive stuff that they're doing. So, especially that kipping crap, that's I actually thought about doing CrossFit years ago when it first came out, and I saw it because it looked like so much fun. But then I saw the kipping and some of the other stuff, and it's like, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. Plus, the memberships to those gyms are like $110 per month or something like that. And from what I've heard many times over the years, that CrossFit gyms are the ones who close the most. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this second set of this. Man, so, man, the interesting thing about that stuff, man, is to do all these different hand positions with the same load. I did it in the video before this, same day. So, the video I did before this today, and now this one. So, to do certain things, if anything, and have the same weight on with the different hand positions, same reps, just different hand positions, work in the same area, similar area. Man, and just as annoying as it is for some of you, and it was for me, to feel like things aren't changing, things aren't improving, you're not getting stronger. If you make certain changes, not doing stuff based off of popularity, not doing stuff based off of trying to go viral, and doing stuff because it worked for you, hopefully, or just that you like it, prefer it, whatever, with high hopes that it's working. But keep practicing, and then try different things: hand position, equipment, speed, a certain amount of time in between sets, not doing it too many sets, not doing a bunch of exercises that you probably don't need to do today, if at all. Working out with someone, that seems to be a thing for certain people, to work out with people. I tried it, but between people showing up late or not showing up at all, and so my dad just told me, like, when you do whatever it was I was trying to do that day, he said, do you need that person? Like, no, but we said we were going to work out together. But I had been waiting for like an hour, probably longer. So, and he was like, well, instead of you being pissed off, and if there's other stuff you have to do, and whatever else he might have said, he's wasting your time and your day, especially if the person didn't call or anything. So ever since then, I've been working out by myself. So it wasn't necessarily because I wanted to, but it's just like, one, I'm a lot stronger than the person I was going to work out with, even especially 21 years ago. I was a lot stronger than that person anyway, one. Two, there are a lot of people who are disrespectful to the time of others. Um, and then not only are they disrespectful to your time and trying to make sure you're able to get your stuff in and done, whether it's your job, your workout, your business, whatever it is, they're probably not all that respectful and mature when it comes to doing their own stuff. So whether it's friends, family, co-workers, whoever it is, if you have a reason to work out at a certain time, do it. Plus, it's just interesting and appreciative to find out how good you are at doing certain things without waiting on someone to do stuff with or for you. When I was very young and I wanted to lift the 100-pound dumbbell, so obviously that was way back. So when I wanted to lift the 100-pound dumbbells, whether it was an incline chest press, flat bench, chest press, or shoulder press, whatever it is that I wanted to do with the 100-pound dumbbells, but I just felt like in order for me to do it, I needed somebody really strong. I felt like I needed somebody really strong there to spot me, to make sure I was okay. There is this one guy there who he's been dead for a while, but I don't need him anyway. But not to be disrespectful, but I stopped using him for a spotter a long time ago. But whenever I tried to lift the 100-pound dumbbells for whatever it was I was trying to do that day, he was there. And then if I was able to find one or two other people that might be strong, I would do it. So I think one day I just got really pissed off, and it was just like, fuck, I want to lift this. I want to lift these dumbbells, and I'm looking around hoping certain people are there, and it's just like, I don't remember exactly what I was thinking other than being pissed off. I do remember that. So other than being pissed off, it was just like, shoot, nobody's here. And then I was like, I think I just thought to myself again, I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, but I just remember thinking to myself, for the most part, like, let me at least try to see how many reps I can do myself without him there. And then another time came, and I'm looking around, and certain people weren't there, and I was like, well, let me see if I can do this many by myself. Let me see if I can do this many by myself. And it seemed like I kept getting a little better, trusting myself for one, two, knowing that I can do it by myself. And then it got to the point of where I was like, well, now I've mastered lifting these and doing a certain amount of reps with them. But now what? Because back then I didn't know how heavy dumbbells can go. So then years later, I don't remember how many years later, but years later, probably 5 or more years later, but years later, this guy brought in 120-pound dumbbells. And all of us, the guys, were so freaking excited when that guy brought those dumbbells in. And he left them there. He still worked out at the gym at the time. And then, so for me, I was working that night at the gym. So I couldn't wait to close. I wasn't supposed to be doing chest, but I couldn't wait to close the gym so I can run down there and see if I can actually lift them, because I hadn't done it yet. So I went down there on the flat bench, and I pressed 120-pound dumbbells, I think at least 8 times, and it's like, shit, I didn't know I can do that. I didn't have a spotter here, and I did that, so then, again, once you do certain things a certain number of times, I was like, okay, well, now what, so again, not knowing how heavy dumbbells can go at that time in my life. So then I found out about these Olympic dumbbells to where you can put a certain amount on. So again, for those of you, especially you young people seeing this, even some of the older people around my age or older, you're not born knowing everything, obviously. So, there's certain things you don't know, probably. Certain things you haven't tried, probably. And just keep trying different things, man. Trying different things, different sets, different reps, different equipment, taking a certain amount of time in between sets, and doing whatever it is that works for you compared to working for friend, family, trainer, whoever it is, especially people on social media. And do what works for you, and then hopefully it doesn't take as long for you to figure that out. But even if it does, having an appreciation, because it's like, well, I couldn't do this before. Especially if you have an idea as to why you couldn't do it before. So again, just making sure you don't, the heavier it is, the slower you're gonna go. So one, so keep that in mind first of all, and then two, give yourself the time and opportunity to find out what you can do yourself. I mean, if you have a spotter, go for it, but having the time, giving yourself the time and opportunity to find out what you can do yourself. So that way you're not waiting on certain people, especially if certain people are late, don't show up, or even if you have people who are usually there, but things happen. Somebody gets into an accident, or there's traffic, or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you try certain things like, oh man, I didn't know I can take that off the rack without needing a spotter. I didn't know I can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reps without a spotter. Don't mean you do it every time, but you know. And then if you're like me and you work out at home and you're the only one there, you have no choice but to find out. So then you got to try to be as smart as you can in terms of how much you put on, how many sets you do, how many reps you do, how much time you take in between sets. And it, you know, it can be fun, especially if you have a certain amount of experience to where you don't have to think about it as much. So then if you're a beginner and you're doing any of this stuff, have fun with it. Especially if you're a beginner, have fun with it because you don't know yet. So it's like, have fun with it, try different things, and eventually certain things are gonna click. So it's like, nah, I think I'm good with this, or you know, at least do this time, and then maybe next time. So I mean, just have fun with it. That's what, in my opinion, that's what this stuff should be. Because for me, if it wasn't fun, I don't know if I would have done it as much, if at all, actually. Everything I usually do and keep doing is usually because it's fun. And at 40, it's still fun. I look forward to doing this stuff. Trying to see if I can do more reps this time. Trying to see if I can do use different equipment. Working out at the apartment gym not far from me, which I was tempted to do today on back days. So yeah, just do what works for you, man, and hopefully it'll work. And if it's not, just try something else. And then hopefully if you're watching videos like this, it's like, you know, I didn't try that yet, or you know, I usually rush in between sets, or you know, I usually do 4 or 5 sets when I probably only need to do 2 or 3. So you know, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully give it a like, because not only does that help me, it helps other people get to the point of where they see it. If they're interested in stuff like that, whether you know them or not, share it with people that whether you know for sure that certain people might like it, will like it, or you're not even sure, but share it for just in case certain people like it, to where they watch it, and if they like it, great. If not, you know, everything's not for everybody. So and then for you to subscribe, so that way instead of you looking around for stuff, or you know, however it works, you looking around for stuff, or having to look down your feed for 10 or more minutes, 5 or more minutes before you see it. If you're subscribed, you should be able to go into a certain area of your feed or whatever, and you know, just look for me and find it, so, or see it. So you know, if you subscribe, so you know, hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you look forward to the next one, you know, because again, you never know what equipment I might be using, whether or not this season or next season I'm working out outside or having somebody with me, so you don't really know. I currently don't know just yet, depending on what I am interested and motivated to do, what I feel is needed at that time, to help myself as well as possibly helping you. So hope you enjoyed it, and if not, hope you enjoy the next one, or hope you enjoy the next one better, however it works for us. This is Martone, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. Take care.